Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. Today's subject is all about police rider training in the UK and what it takes to be the best. In this video we'll see what happens after I stumbled across a group of 4 Scottish police riders and had the privilege and the pleasure to ride with them and also see how it's done. This is the 4th video of 4, and in the previous videos we witnessed how police riders are trained and apply road safety skills taken from their roadcraft, the Police Rider's Handbook. And in this video we'll see how all 4 riders negotiate an obstacle as I eventually catch up to them and overtake the police riders in turn. And if you're new to the channel, then welcome, and please feel free to view some of my other videos which are often interlinked for your pleasure. And don't forget to like and subscribe, as I would appreciate that ever so much. And if you haven't seen the first 3 videos, I would suggest that you do so now and return to this video, as it will help with the continuity of activity. The links are in the description below. But just to recap, in the first video we witnessed the lead rider of the group of 4 perform an overtake just after the brow of a hill, leaving the remaining 2 riders behind. And in the second video we witnessed how the lead rider of the second pair of riders performs a long overdue and very deliberate overtake, leaving the final rider behind with me. And then into the third video we rewound the clock to watch the build up to the previous overtake, simply to highlight the difference between the second pair of riders, to include the final and 4th rider performing an unusual overtake technique called the Police Pendulum Maneuver, or PPM to us mere mortals. This is obviously a specialist technique and not taught anywhere else other than the police. In this video I find myself riding solo for one simple reason: I'm keeping to the speed limit to ensure that excess speed does not achieve an early arrival. I will make a whole video all about making best progress and how overall travelling speed averages are much lower than you would think, and also show where excess speed can be simply a waste of time. So here I am, biker Billy No Mates, travelling at the speed limit, considering my route options, when up ahead I identify signs of a roundabout that I've been anticipating for some time. On approach to the roundabout, after checking my rear view mirrors, I focus upon the activity of the roundabout, and I begin to consider the time of day, the day in question, the location of this roundabout, and the likely state of mind of the drivers who are negotiating it prior to my arrival. I look for the volume and pace of the traffic at the roundabout, which I call the heartbeat of the roundabout. And every roundabout has its own heartbeat, some beat faster than others, in anticipation of deciding to stop or go upon my arrival. It is at this time I become aware that all 4 police riders are at the roundabout, which brings the concern as to the entry speed of the vehicles coming from their right, as they may have caused the police riders ahead to pause for what would seem to be an unusually long period of time. I'm thinking the police can't be waiting to gather the group at the roundabout, as this would cause an inconvenience to other road users, which in itself could be seen as a road traffic offence. I am sure that the training route would have been briefed prior to departure, and when the group loses contact, a standard procedure to find a safe and suitable place to pull over would have been explained. Now I get to ignore the fact that they are police and simply other road users. I have my destination to go to, and it's for me to make my own road safety decisions. Having looked at the roundabout again, I have noticed that the white van and the vehicles exiting towards are slow and deliberate. The white van in particular taking some time to proceed, which means they might be new to the area and unsure of how to proceed, or could be texting and not paying attention to the traffic from their right. I see by the road layout and signs that there is likely a dual access to, around and from this roundabout, and decide that a right lane on approach is attainable. The police riders to the front are still stationary and have been for an overly long period of time. The traffic behind the lead riders is halted by this, and a clear but potholed approach now opens up fully to my front. I decide to arrive in the right side of the lane, and whilst keeping an eye on the approaching speed of the silver car to my right, I have pre-decided there's no need for me to stop, and therefore by continuing overtake the second pair of riders. Having safely passed the car and the police riders, I recheck to the right and continue onto the roundabout, now matching the momentum of the lead pair of riders. And it's at this time my assessment is correct, and the dual lines are identified upon the road by the markings shown. I am now free to overtake the lead pair of riders, but wait. I need a picture for the thumbnail of this video. So I pause in my progress, and I look to the left, and I wait. There he is, there's the instructor, and I announce, "Say cheese!" And not wanting to place concern upon the lead rider, who's been obsessed with the lorry driver's approach to the roundabout, I decide to continue around the roundabout and stage exit left at the 3 o'clock position. As I do, I think, wait a minute. Rewind the video. Pause. Look closely, everyone, at the lead rider. What do you notice? I'll give you a minute. Have a look. Look closely. Well done. It's not a marked police bike, but it's not that. Look closer. Go on. There you go. Yes, their riding position isn't in balance with the bike or with their direction of travel compared to the instructor behind. And yes, the timing of their observation and direction of observation isn't so good, as they were totally unaware of my presence. But it's not that. Look closer. Closer still. Look at the helmet. Look at the 2 braids of hair extending below the rider's helmet. Now, it's not for me to suggest which sex this rider is, in fear of getting it wrong, but the hair hanging out the helmet is just wrong. Let me explain. A few years ago, I attended a first responder motorcycle training course, who was also attended by a female police riding sergeant. In this course, they went to great lengths to explain how having long hair outside the helmet is a big no-no. And this was shown by riders with long hair who, whilst having an accident, experienced their hair being caught and snagged as they slid along the road surface, and that it becomes ripped from their skull, a bit like being scalped. And some of the results were quite horrendous. And I'm surprised by these braids as simply not being tucked up inside the helmet for the rider's safety. Maybe it wasn't mentioned in the morning brief. But let's not split hairs about this subject. Let's get back to the conclusion of these videos. So let's ask some questions about the videos that you've seen. Do you think these riders are safe? Do you think they stayed within the posted speed limits, irrespective to any police duty excuses? Do you think they were observant enough and reacted to all information available? Do you think their overtake maneuvers were correct? Do you think they all made best progress? Do you think they are at the start, the middle, or end of their training course? And do you think today's police riders are trained as well as they used to be, maybe from 10 years ago? It is my understanding that the course training time has been heavily reduced, some say down to as little as 3 weeks. I would say, by looking at the 2 identified candidates in this group, they have a long way to go just to achieve an average level of riding, let alone an advanced level, or even a police rider level. I would say relying upon your high-vis clothing is expecting false security as even the police sergeant from the first aid course explained to us that she'd been knocked off her police motorcycle on duty, with the driver explaining that they didn't see them. Although it was a pleasure and a privilege to ride with the police, I did hold back my own rate of progress for the purpose of making the video, and found that they did not make best progress in my opinion. They were not as safe as they could be, and they displayed a basic rote understanding of their training publications and were very unlikely, if ever, to become competent motorcyclists, let alone police riders. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And as always, think safe, ride safe, and I hope to see you not holding up traffic at the next roundabout, but making best progress. Bye for now.